Hello everyone, this is day 49 of Polity Daily Drill. Let's begin. First question. Consider the following statements regarding the concept of the rule of law. The principle of the rule of law is a part of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Yes, this statement is correct. This principle has been considered to be a part of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution as established by the Supreme Court in the Keshwanand Bharti case 1973. One is correct. Number two, the rule of law implies that the law is supreme and that all individuals and institutions are subject to and accountable to the law. Yes, of course. The idea is all manner of people are equal in the eyes of law and no one is above the law. Number three, under the rule of law, there is an inherent presumption of equality before the law and equal protection of laws. Yes, this is also correct. The rule of law inherently includes both these concepts. 3 is also right. A concept given or rather codified by Albert Venn Dicey in the 19th century, the very famous British jurist. All 3 statements are correct. Right answer is, of course, C. All 3. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding representative democracy. Now, in a representative democracy, elected officials represent a group of people making decisions on their behalf. Now, this is correct, of course. That's the whole concept of a representative democracy, where elected officials, MPs, MLAs, whatever name you may call them, they represent the interests of the people and of course make decisions on their behalf. Number 2, representative democracy always involves a bicameral legislature. Bicameral meaning what? 2 houses. So this is not correct. There are various examples wherein you will have a representative democracy but with a unicameral legislature. A very simple example of this can be, let's say, a country like Sweden, which has only 1 house. So 2 is wrong. The concept of representative democracy is rooted in the idea of political equality. Yes, of course, political equality, where all individuals have an equal opportunity to participate in the political process. And number 4, direct democracy is a common feature of representative democracies. Now, of course, this is wrong. Direct democracy, a concept where citizens will vote on laws and policies directly, is not a common feature of representative or indirect democracy, as we should call it. Though some elements of direct democracy, like say referendums, might be present in certain countries, but still it is not a common feature. So, which of the statements are correct? 1 and 3 are correct. Right answer is A. 1 and 3 only. Moving on to question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding the judiciary of the United States and India. First one, both the United States and India have a single unified judiciary that administers both federal and state laws. No, that's not true. India has a single unified judiciary, that's correct, which administers both federal, meaning central, and state laws. But in the USA, they have a dual system with separate federal courts and separate state judiciaries. So this is wrong. Number 2. In the United States, the Supreme Court has a power of judicial review, of course, while in India, the Supreme Court does not have this power. Now, this is also wrong. Both the US Supreme Court, called the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, both SCOTUS and the Indian Supreme Court have the power of judicial review. They can review executive as well as legislative actions. Okay, so 2 is also wrong. Which of the statements is correct? D. Neither 1 nor 2. Moving on to question number 4. Consider the following statements regarding the laws of defamation in India. Under section 499 of the IPC, truth alone is an absolute defense against a charge of defamation. Number 2, defamation can be both a civil wrong and a criminal offense in India. And number 3, in a civil defamation suit, the burden of proof lies on the defendant to prove that the defamatory statement is true. Now see, as far as statement 1 is concerned, that is actually wrong. So under section 499, truth alone is not an absolute defense. The statement must be made for the what? For the public good. And of course, must be in good faith also. So 1 is wrong. See, 2 is correct. Defamation is both civil as well as a criminal offense. This is right. Of course, you have the concept of fines, compensation. You also have the concept of jail sentence under defamation. Right? Recently, a very famous politician had been sentenced to the maximum punishment under criminal defamation, that is 2 years. So 2 is correct, and 3 is also correct, because in a civil defamation, the defendant has to prove that the statement made is true and was meant for public good. So 3 is correct. So how many statements are correct? 2 statements are correct. Right answer is B. Only 2. And the last question for today. Consider the following statements regarding the concept of sovereignty. Sovereignty implies the supreme authority of the state to make and enforce laws within its territory. Absolutely correct. That's the meaning of sovereignty. Number 1. Number 2. Internal sovereignty refers to the absolute authority of the state within its territory, while external sovereignty refers to the state's independence from external control. Again, this is the exact definition. Perfectly explained statement is correct. Number 3. In India, sovereignty is vested solely in the parliament as the representative of the people. Now, this is wrong. Why? I hope you remember, which is very well evident from the preamble, which begins with the phrase, "We the people of India," and ends with, "We the people of India have given to ourselves this constitution," right? So the sovereignty vests solely in the people of India, not the parliament. Okay, so 3 is wrong. So the question says, how many of the above statements are incorrect? A. Only 1 statement is incorrect. This brings us to an end of our discussion for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, that's all for me. Jai Hind.